Hi Capricorn, here's a general look at your solar chart for September 2013. Now, it's always good when the Sun is in Virgo because that's a fellow Earth sign and it beams friendly rays towards your Sun in Capricorn. This month we have Mars chugging very slowly through. Well, for Mars it's around about 6 weeks, and Mars went in there on the 28th of August. Through a very deep area, very inward area of your chart, but the Sun and Mercury and Venus as well are in more outgoing areas of your solar chart. I'm just going to deal with Mars because you Capricorns have Pluto going through your sign, and because of that, the position that Mars is holding at the moment is going to have you'll feel it. You'll feel it. So this Mars position, it does indicate an ultimate changing of gears, and it's a great time for decluttering. There's no doubt about that. That's putting the whole thing in a nutshell. But that decluttering process can be an outward one as well as an inward one, and you can't rush it. Not that you are a sign that likes to rush at things anyway, unless of course you've got the moon in Aries, but or Aries rising perhaps. But you have to intuitively let go. So you've got to let go as and when you feel it's okay for you. This transit though of Mars might hasten that a little bit. It might help it out a little bit. So during this transit here, decluttering would be good, but also changing a standpoint, changing a perspective, changing a habitual way of doing things, chucking out a bad habit or a bad lifestyle choice, possibly reading something or hearing something or seeing an example of something that you aspire to, that really does strike a chord in you at the moment. That is the way that this one could go. Now, you may be more secretive, you may be more, this area is quite deep, it's quite personal, it's, a secretive area of your chart, even though the Sun and Mercury and Venus are in these other more outward areas. This is the area where you need to make a decision. So it's up to you to decide whether you are going to declutter, whether you are going to change that radical gear in your life. And it's easier to push your buttons at this time because this Mars transit is kind of stirring up feelings and stirring up emotions. So you have to watch out for that. But this is also a time when you can trust your basic instincts, trust your intuitive sensing of whatever. Go that way. So if you hear about something, you read about something, it's so easy to be bombarded with an avalanche of somebody else's perfect 100% successful cure or remedy or solution or enterprise, on the net. So but with Mars here, you can really pick up the vibe on, that one feels more my kind of thing. I'll kind of give that one a try. So it might be like that, or it might not. It might be that you are getting, you are actually linking into a higher guidance of some kind, and you are getting a teaching on that level. Or it might be that you are getting teaching through education, in a more sort of formal, conventional kind of a sense. But also you could be feeling things more, and you could be sensing that there is maybe a conflict in somebody else's rules or values, or their integrity is not quite what you'd hope for, or you're just wondering about where they're coming from and what's in it for them, sort of thing. Or maybe you don't have to wonder, and maybe you can see. So you need to stick up for your own values and your own way of doing it in your own priority. as well at this time. And you want to get a sense more of walking the talk of your own morality, maybe, as well. So without being too dramatic about this, it can be working in quite a minor way. Maybe if you have got a Capricorn sun which is kind of furthest away from Pluto, but hey, you might have another planet right close to Pluto at the moment, so we can't really know doing sun sign astrology. But I'm trying to cover, you know, the minor to the major here. And it might come and go without a sort of, just as a blip sort of thing. Anyway, it's possible that you will have decisions to make related to financial things, related to property things, related to emotional relationship things, related to contract or agreement type things, whether these are on a formal level or they're informal level. Moral debts, that kind of thing. And you could be feeling very keen to start and do something which will change this gear, which will stop the rot in its tracks, whatever that's about for you, and you feel quite passionate about it. That's another thing. And this Mars energy can really help you make a breakthrough. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Mars in this position here is great for transitioning. It's just a wonderful helper for transitioning, you know. There's a lot we could say about Mars which is a little bit derogatory, but Mars in this position here can help you, you know, if you need to climb a mountain, Mars can help you do that. So you can take on something which is really quite tricky or challenging and get through it, as long as you know, understand that you're being more sensitive, you're being more intuitive, you're being more emotional, or another way it can be is that you're feeling things more deeply, you're understanding things with more insight, so you're keeping it more on the mental level, and you're keeping truer to yourself, and you're sticking to your guns and you're just going to see it through. And then that is clearing a deck, it's clearing the way for new green shoots to come up. This is what it's all about. It's just clearing the space. Tabula rasa, new green shoots, new life, wonderful. Now, let's go back to the beginning. The sun is in Virgo up until the 23rd. This is an expansive area for you where you should be pushing the envelope, getting into new fields, getting into new things, new enterprise, new venture, new project, just getting out and about more, or if it's not physically or only physically out and about more, then in your mind, in your experience, in your doing. So that sits well with, you know, some of how I explain the Mars, possibly the Mars position for you. Then from the 23rd, you'll be taking your targets and directions in life more seriously. Then the sun moves into an area that you're very familiar with, where you've got to be responsible and consistent and persevering. You've got to be firmer about your direction and where you're going. You've got to think more about professional things, maybe some of you work, deal more maybe with bureaucracy or those others in a position of authority, whether that's parents, teachers, or officials, and thinking more about your targets, your goals, your ambitions. So that's the kind of feel of that area there. And it's definitely time for you to firmly follow up on a direction for yourself, and also be aware that others may be relying upon you a little bit more, or looking to you to reach some kind of a standard. Now, Mercury is very much in the same area as the Sun up until the 9th, so conversations or paperwork, maybe correspondence, could be centered around this maybe this plan or this schedule or this new agenda, or this new education that you're taking on board, or this new territory that you're visiting. Foreign connections could be coming in here as well. But also knowledge, you know, putting knowledge out there, sourcing knowledge and gathering knowledge, picking up useful bits of information, trying out new things. And some of you may be looking into the legal sides of things as well at this time. You may have to do that. Now from the 9th to the 29th, discussions, correspondence and ideas may revolve around the area that the Sun goes into on the 23rd, so Mercury gets there first. Short-term plans, longer-term objectives, where am I going from here? How am I going to get there? You know, career matters, life direction, and looking to connecting with anybody who could facilitate your aims, any kind of agent for that, or any kind of useful contact, you know, cultivating useful contacts. That's a real key theme for you anyway for the whole of the year, is cultivating useful contacts, useful people, you know, without being too mercenary about it. And seeing how things unfold, keeping alert to what's new on the block, and hope, you know, being as clear and as maybe as accurate as you can in your speaking, writing, or other ways of expressing yourself, because that's really going to help you. Also, you may be looking into schedules for travel or vehicles transport at this time. Now, until the 11th, Venus is at the top of your solar chart. Oh joy, this is really going to help you with anything to do with career matters, authority figures, bureaucracy, red tape, that kind of thing. And those will tend to see you in a good light. You tend to get people on side a little bit more easily. So if you're applying for work or a position of some kind, or you are, you know, wanting to go in a new direction, somebody there could be really just giving you a helping hand. It could be the female energy is stronger with that one, so it could be a female, but it might not be. It might be somebody that a male who is in touch with his female side, but no, a male who, you know, that you just hit it off with in that moment. It might not be a long-lasting thing, but it could be. And then from the 11th, friends and acquaintances, old friends, old contacts, also making new friends, making new contacts and acquaintances. You're likely to feel their support. There's that facilitating feeling going on there, friendly feeling, networking over the wires, group gatherings, or group efforts, or group connecting anyway. A collective energy is very well starred. Venus here is very sociable, so like a social circle, mixing and mingling with others. Very helpful though, Venus here, because you guys got a practical side. It's not all about schmoozing. And then you pooling forces and resources with the others seeing you in a good light, for your contribution or just your style, and also you very much appreciating maybe somebody else's contribution or style as well. Now Jupiter is in your opposite sign at the moment, and that means that personal professional alliances may actually help you to grow into new areas because of certain special people in your life. Your horizons will tend to broaden, and others will be interested in your take on things because it's unfamiliar to them, but their take on things are unfamiliar to you, and they will probably be quite intrigued by your background in some way, and you can be intrigued by theirs, I guess. Partners, colleagues, clients, customers, employers, employees, you know, anybody that you have this like one-to-one interaction with will get you thinking more expansively and will probably catapult you into completely new areas of effort, endeavor, but also location as well. That's also possible. And you Capricorns born between the 3rd and 9th of January, or with, that should have been the 28th to the 5th of January last month, by the way. I'm really sorry, I made a boo-boo there. So you Capricorns, the 3rd to 9th of January, or with 13 to 19 degrees Capricorn rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. Saturn is helping you to cultivate people very, very slowly in a social circle, but maybe, you know, you feeling a lack of the right sort of person that you're mixing with, That can very much be the case with Saturn there. So finding a new set of a new circle really might be on the agenda, but also finding your place in the pecking order can also be important as you gradually establish yourself in the eyes of others. And you Capricorns born 27th of December to the 1st of January, not, as I said last month, the 25th to the 29th, which was, again, a senior moment. So 27th of December to the 1st of January, or with 6 to 11 degrees of Capricorn rising, you'll be feeling it the most this month. And then the Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter transits, they're pretty helpful. Really, it can help your self-expression to bloom and help you to experience more insight and understanding of which community or friendship or peer group or club you really belong and which is most useful. And Jupiter in the opposite sign can mean that new relationships, but all existing relationships can open up your mind and your heart to bigger horizons, and also physically, because you could even be relocating because of certain relationships. There's a need to relocate, and that's it for September. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, have a listen to those. They may give you some more information. The forecasts on here, and also if you want to know anything more about the slow moving outer planets, I update that every month and which part of your sign they may be affecting. And I will see you the next time.